I think more competition means greater challenge for hoteliers, and whilst hoteliers don't mind competition, the equity of the regulatory playing field is important to them. And I guess the opportunity to grow occupancy and rate as an airline would during busy times. The numbers at the moment will tell you that occupancy is down, revenue per available room, RevPAR, which is a key metric in the hotel industry, that's down at the moment on historical figures. And so the numbers are suggesting that the shadow stock is having an impact.
Most of the hotels are trying to adapt and figuring out how to make it work, and they realize that the no-frills hotel is actually working quite well. A lot of people don't need all the extra services, like you don't need to change your towels every day. You don't need to change all your toothbrushes and stuff every day. Whereas Airbnb is probably more for personal. I just want to relax and I don't want to, I just don't want to see anyone. It's probably better because of privacy and it's more relaxed. And it's probably more, it feels homey as well. Because hotels, sometimes they just feel the same all everywhere you go. It's cut and paste. But if you go for the better ones, of course it's a different experience.
I think you have to evolve with your customer and give them experiences and offers that they would expect. Having worked in hotels in the 90s, they were far more perhaps cookie cutter than they are now. You look at some of the emerging brands that are coming into the market, not only in Australia but around the world. Some of the major brands are bringing a lot of lifestyle product into the market. That's obviously trying to, I guess, predict and respond to consumer demand in terms of, as I said before, how they want to travel. And I think a lot of those brands that are coming in do in fact reflect the lifestyles of the people that want to stay in them. So it's an exciting shift. I think hotels now are allowed to have a personality. They express their personality in many different ways.
We've been traveling to try all the hotels because we just want to understand the design trends for hotels. I think they're trying to create something that's more unique in experience. They're trying to create, each hotel will have their own personality that is suited to the contextual areas. So it's no longer the cookie cutter approach where you see one Hilton, it's all the same everywhere. So you will have a brand, they'll have a brand that is, you know, suited to the local areas. Then you have the local experience, and then introduce you to all the local dining scenes and stuff, which is something that what Airbnb is doing, you know, where if you go and stay in an Airbnb, the host will tell you, this is my favorite place, this is where you go, you feel like you're experiencing the local culture. And right now I think the hotels are doing that as well, which is great. You know, it's encourage you to explore and take in all the local experience.
Airbnb were quite clever initially with their marketing around living like a local. They sort of coined that phrase and adopted that market position, and I think that was clever. It made hoteliers sit up and pay notice and say, hang on a second, for many years with our concierge staff, with our front desk staff, etc., we've been giving guests inside tips and knowledge of the local area. So we have in fact been doing that for time immemorial, and I think we haven't perhaps been as clever marketing that as perhaps, you know, Airbnb were in that case with living like a local. It's encouraged hotels to really look at a traditional service offer and say, how do we actually shake this up and make it more fun? So even in a 5-star hotel environment, rather than just having a common and garden variety restaurant, looking at making or shaping a destinational dining experience. So, how can I come in and really experience something that's vibrant and new?
I think this industry is still transforming the way people travel as well, which is great. But where we're heading, to be honest, I'm not too sure myself because it's still evolving. Every time you travel, you see different things, different ideas.
As you look at the many purposes that a hotel serves, and it's a place of celebration, it's a place of commiseration, a time where you go when you're happy, when you're sad. A number of different life milestones are celebrated in and around hotels. Well, I think fundamentally what they do is they provide a level of certainty and a level of safety perhaps that is consistent and that is guaranteed. So, you know, when people are coming in and they're staying at a Sheraton or you know, a Hyatt or a Hilton property, they know what to expect. They know the level of service that they will receive.
I think this is something that the Airbnb cannot match. The hotels will still survive because they will have all these facilities and amenities that people still want to go and experience, because it's natural that when you go somewhere, you might want to just mix around and socialize. So those rooftop bars, those are nice cafes, nice restaurants, those breakout spaces, lobby spaces are still something that is crucial for a hotel to have. And if you travel sometimes alone by yourself, you don't want to just stay locked up in a room. You just want to socialize with friends and hang out, you know, in a hotel somewhere else just to socialize. I think that's very important, and this is something I think Airbnb cannot replicate.
We embrace competition when it's fair and equitable. So Airbnbs that are operating ostensibly in the same fashion as hotels should be regulated accordingly. So when they, you know, there's 50 rooms in one building, for example, that might be operating, look like a hotel, operate like a hotel, then they should be regulated like a hotel.